Basketball.
Basketball rules.
The basketball court.
Basketball!
Let's turn the clock back to about a week ago.
About a week ago.
Like the crazy Knicks fans we are, we went to Vegas.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Met up with some other diehards. Went crazy over some basketball.
Oh! Yes, Nick! That's what I'm talking about! Kevin, money again! Kevin, money again! What?
And oh yeah, the earth moved.
Folks, we're experiencing an earthquake right now.
Yo! Y'all here in earthquake land!
Lonzo Cherry did it. Lonzo Cherry did it. Just a little.
But now it's time for a closer look.
Big Beach!
We're here.
My man, Alan Houston.
It's different this time, but it sounds like you're
Reggie in town.
What's up, guys? So today we're talking to an NBA affiliated scout
Spencer
to be
Pearlman.
Spencer Pearlman. So he came out here in Union Square to do it the New York way.
We are here today with Spencer Pearlman. And we're in sunny New York City, Union Square Park, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Just want to ask a few questions. So I actually want to know, tell me a little bit about your background.
So graduated from Vanderbilt in 2013. I worked with the Tulsa Shock in their basketball front office, scouted, helped with coaching, did some contract work, went to law school, knowing that the skills I wanted to get in law school I could use in basketball.
Right.
I did not want to practice.
Okay. So your intention was to go to law school to learn those things for
Always,
basketball.
yeah.
Okay.
And then, since I think it was November 2017, I've been working at a firm in Midtown, and I've been scouting inside.
Okay.
And April, I think, NBA team contacted me, asked me if I
Yeah, I
wanted help
know, the
scouting.
Phoenix Suns. I found that out last night. I looked that up last night. Was
Yeah.
that exciting?
That's fun.
Yeah?
It's cool.
First time you've ever done that for a professional team?
Professional NBA team, yeah.
Okay. And I'm assuming something you definitely want to continue.
Yeah, I mean, if I could get a full-time job doing that for any team, I would. Oh, man.
Okay, okay.
We actually got to speak to Spencer quite a bit about his career path and things the average fan should be looking for when they're watching the game. Check out for that in a future video. But for now, let's get right into the Summer League.
All right, Spencer. So the Knicks just went 2-3 in Summer League. We saw we didn't win, but good ending at least.
Yeah.
We looked a lot better, especially last night. Yesterday, we looked really good against the Wizards fourth quarter. Hachimura didn't play. There's a lot going on there. But I want to talk about the players. RJ is obviously the topic.
RJ Barrett was the star attraction in Vegas this year, and he got a quick taste of what the media can be like when you're playing for the Knicks. Labeled a bust after his first 2 games, RJ recovered well and finished the Summer League looking really solid. Excited to see what he has in store.
He starts off all the media pressure, that crazy first game against Zion. Doesn't do so well first couple of games, a lot of the issues coming up. Then he starts improving. But what did you see from RJ throughout Summer League, and what are you worried about maybe going into the league, and what are you looking forward to going into the league about his play?
I mean, just from game 1 to 5, you really saw how much the game slowed down for him.
Yeah.
Whether he was inside the paint or outside the paint, he just looked more confident in what he was doing. And then, the passing, he's always been a good passer, but my issue was when he got inside the paint, it's kind of like he had blinders on, he was only looking for the rim.
Tunnel vision, like Knox last year.
Yeah. So, I put a video out, I think it was after game 1, kind of showing 5 or 6 times where he had someone open, and he just missed him. Then you go to last night and the game before, and he's still not great inside the paint or inside 3. I don't know if he ever will be.
Yeah.
But when he takes his time at the top of the key for the pick to come, and he's completely surveying the court, outside 3, he is a really, really good passer.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I think he had actually 2 passes going downhill. I think one of them was lobbed to Mitch.
Yeah, I remember. Yep, he did.
So, I mean, his passing's good. Then I know the jump shot is still... The jump shot needs a lot of work.
Yeah. It does. I mean, that's something I think we knew coming in.
Yeah.
But even yesterday, I mean, he had 2 for 4 from deep.
One of them was off motion.
Yeah, one of them was off motion.
Yeah. But I think that'll improve. I don't think he'll ever be a dead-eye shooter, but if he's taking 5 attempts a game, if he's hitting 35%, that's going to be enough to open up driving lanes. And, maybe he'll never be able to hit those hardened step backs. I don't really think that matters, but it'd be nice. The first game he had the footwork of it. And it was like he missed it.
He missed it, but everything else looked good before. I mean, we saw that training video. We all saw it.
Yeah.
Where with Drew Hanlon, right? Yep. Where he's hitting it. What I want to talk about is his lack of wiggle. Mm-hmm. Trey's doing wiggles off camera, but you can see it. Last night I was showing her Derrick Rose and comparing it to him, so you can see what elite wiggle looks like. I tweeted a couple of weeks ago, like last week maybe, that he's really going to have to work on his, first of all, just his skill set, his dribble drive moves, and he's going to have to kind of be a Paul Pierce, James Harden, where he can use his body. You tweeted yesterday about, how he was able to get have the defender on his hip on that one play and make a layup.
Yep.
Are you concerned about his lack of wiggle, and do you think how long do you think he'll take, and what does he need to do to, compensate for that?
So I am concerned for lack of wiggle just because I don't really think it's something you can improve that much. I think it's kind of you're born with athletic gifts and you have them or you don't. But there are ways around it. And first one is just angling yourself better. So, if you're trying to attack off the rip, instead of having your inside foot go out, you want to cut off the ball hand. You want to cut off the defense. And that way, the second you take that step, the defense is already on your hip. And you don't have to worry about him getting back in the play.
Right.
The second thing is just using his body more. He's 6'7", 215. He is very strong.
Yeah, saw a picture of him.
He can put on another 10 pounds.
Yeah, this guy is like, I'm like, wow. Yeah. At 19, that body's insane.
He is built.
Yeah, he's built.
So it's just knocking guys off the spot. He pushes them a little bit, but he doesn't fully dislodge them. So if he could actually lower that shoulder
and get a little bit right. Okay, I got you.
That would be a huge improvement. And then especially at the rim, because his finishing isn't great. If he's able to actually push guys away, it's going to be an open look.
I mean, we see it at times, right? We saw a couple decent plays in summer league where using his body a bit more. Let me ask you this: who do you compare him to, pro-wise? We've heard a ton of comparisons, and secondly, someone like him who maybe came in with a lack of wiggle, so to speak, and you saw him find a way to compensate for it over time. If you have a comparison,
he's actually always been a tough one to compare someone to. I never really bought the Harden one just because Harden always kind of seemed like he was a much smoother athlete.
Yeah, RJ's not as fluid.
RJ's stiff.
Yeah, he's stiff.
But I mean, in some ways he reminds me of DeRozan a little bit because DeRozan never really had that wiggle, but he was a much better athlete.
That's the thing. He was an elite leaper.
I mean, he could jump out of the gym.
Yeah,
RJ's good vert, but he's not.
Yeah,
DeRozan.
So he's a tough one.
Yeah.
I wasn't wrong. NBA scouts agree with me, guys.
He's tough. Yeah, he's tough.
It's funny. I see those pregame videos of him dunking. I'm like, he's not doing it. I'm like, he can't do that in game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dunking before games. I can't do it in the game.
I think it's with RJ too. That's like one of the weird things is that, and we've spoken about this a lot on our past couple of videos, is that I think people thought he was a different player than he actually is.
Yeah.
I think people who maybe just paid attention in high school and didn't really watch him too closely in college, or were just built off the hype of somebody saying, "Yo, I'm a Knick," all these things. They envisioned this like bouncy, coming in the league, scoring 22 points per game, almost like a Donovan Mitchell rookie year.
Right.
Whereas RJ, to me, what I've seen from summer league at least specifically is that I think when he's in control and just plays more measured, he's actually going to be more effective. I think he's going to get more triple doubles next year than 30-point games.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
close to triple doubles.
Yeah. I think he'll actually come in. He can average, 17 points a game, probably pretty poor efficiency, but he'll get, 6-7 assists a game. He'll get 7 rebounds. He'll fill up the box score. And then as the shooting gets better, hopefully his defense improves also. And instead of just being a box score guy, he's being a full impact guy.
All right, so let's talk about Big Meech.
Okay, maybe Mitch was having a bit too much fun, but if it's one thing we saw in Summer League is that Mitch is ready for next year. So I got to work on the fouls, but what an exciting player. Big Mitch is the man.
Our man Mitch, he's had a great game last night.
Yeah.
There's 5 field goals in the Summer League. Insane. I think he's definitely going to be the field goal percentage leader this year. Last year he couldn't qualify,
yeah.
But this year he certainly should, unless foul trouble really messes him up. But what did you see? You know, we were a little upset sometimes that he's indisciplined, but we also know he might have been taking it easy because he knows he's way better than these guys he's defending. What did you see from Mitch? Personally, too, I was also disappointed we didn't see any jump shot.
Yeah.
Or even an attempt, you know what I mean? But what did you see from Mitch in Summer League, and what are you excited about and looking forward to seeing him improve on going into the year?
So, number one thing I'm looking forward to seeing him improve on is, it's his discipline. I think he did a better job in Summer League than he did last year of staying on his feet and not necessarily jumping at every pump fake. I think that's huge, and that's obviously going to keep the fouls down and it's going to keep the minutes up.
Yeah.
Then, the lack of jump shot, as you just said, he didn't attempt one, and
he spoke about it in the interview.
I know,
and he was like, I'll be taking 3s in the season. I'm like, I just take the 3 tomorrow.
you couldn't take a corner 3. I mean, something.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, he's a ridiculous rim protector. He can block shots from anywhere. He's very quick off his feet. And I tweeted at P3 seeing if they could actually get him in the gym because I'm curious to see just how quickly he can transfer his energy from his legs to jumping.
Yeah, to at least to know, right? Because that would be great to find the numbers on that, right? Mitch's build, he you noticed last year, just his shoulders are insane. But I don't know if he's in the gym. He doesn't strike me at all as someone who's like, I'm drinking a protein shake this morning, I'm in there. He just strikes me as a guy who wants to go to the gym and play ball. What do you think about him building his body?
I actually don't think he's got a great frame.
Okay.
I think he's
This is why you gotta listen to Spencer over me.
I think he's got a pretty slight, upper body. I think he's got high hips. I don't really envision him ever becoming light, but if he could get to like 240 or so.
Okay.
I think Rudy Gobert's around 240, 245, and if he can get 240 around 6'11", 7 feet,
yeah,
that's going to help.
All right, so let's talk about Kevin Knox.
With all the excitement around RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox was determined to make sure Knicks fans didn't forget about him. We saw an improved game in the summer. We saw him hitting shots. We saw him making passes. We saw him get a bit stronger and some improvement on defense.
He hit 5 assists last night, which might be his career high ever, the rest of his career. But, I saw a much more confident guy. His 3 balls looking pretty good. What did you see from Kevin? How do you feel about him going into the season?
Yeah, the jumper looks a lot better. And then,
what specifically do you think? Is it just confidence, you think?
I think it's confidence, but I think the release looks better. I put a video out last year showing how half the time he shoots the ball, he's releasing with his elbow still bent. The other half, it's actually extended.
Okay.
So, that slight variation, that's going to throw it off because even if you're bent, you could have different levels and a minor change in the angle can throw off the shot completely. And then the passing, he had 2 passes at the first game and then yesterday that I had not seen him make like at any point at Kentucky and all last year. Just yesterday was the post up. We saw the defense coming over the top and quick hit to the corner.
To Iggy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah.
And then the first game, it was just a high pick and roll. He saw the defense sink in the back. And 2 guys come to him, and then he whipped it to the corner.
Yeah.
And those are passes that, he doesn't have to hit those every game. But if he becomes an average passer, slightly above average passer, that's going to be huge for him.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest knock on Knox last year, right? He had I think he averaged less than assists per game.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, it was, tunnel vision going to the rim. You could see, we kind of felt as well after Summer League, he really took it on himself to be this guy and at times to just be driving, barreling into the lane. Any transition bucket, I feel like it was him. If he got the ball, no one else was going to touch it. Sometimes it worked. We saw that dunk versus Cleveland. But most of the other time, as the New York taxis go everyone, most of the time it's him running into traffic. So hopefully this year we do see that passing really come through.
And then also his aggressiveness attacking the rim.
Yeah.
Like his free throw rate was, I think it was like 0.6 or something like that through the first 4 games. Last year it was much lower. So, for every 10 shots he's taking 6 free throws. He's probably not going to keep that throughout the season, but if he can keep it somewhere around 0.4, it's anywhere between 3.5 and 4 extra points a game. It's going to bring his efficiency up, and I love the aggressiveness that he was taking the ball into.
Yeah, Kevin Knox seems to me as well that he's like, don't forget about me.
Yeah.
Kind of with everything going on. Free agency was before what happened, it was crazy who we were going to get. And even now, it looks like he could be starting or could be not. Morris is coming in. All the RJ hype. I felt like from the first game we saw in Summer League, Kevin Knox was like, hey, I'm still here. You loved me last year. Don't forget. Summer League is my time. So hopefully we see, improved play all around this season. All right, great. And then Iggy, and then we can just freelance on anybody else or a team play or something like that. Okay. I got to call you out because you tweeted that Iggy Pop, or as his real name is, Ignaz Brazdeikis, could be the best value pick in New York Knicks history.
People thought he'd be a fan favorite when he got drafted, and Summer League only solidified that. Iggy Brazdeikis looked insane during the summer. Looked like he can do everything out there on the court to some degree. Exciting player for the Knicks.
Now, we drafted Mitch at number 36. So for Iggy to be best value pick, you got to explain that one to me. Now, don't get me wrong. We love everything we're seeing from Iggy.
Right.
But so what made you tweet that? What did you see that said, wow, this guy, something about his game that you really love?
I'm going to pause the video here, guys. Spencer actually did an excellent breakdown of the nuances and subtleties of Iggy's game on Twitter that make him such an interesting player. I think he deserves a full viewing, so check that out, and we'll be right back to the discussion after.
Since my feet got wet, soaking in Remy, sitting back, smoking a 20. Y'all can bet I'm a vet how it's supposed to be.
This was his best job as a coach. Kid was starting to play.
I mean, I loved him in college because, just right off the bat, I love tough-nosed players. So Kylo Quinn, Kurt Thomas, those are guys you spoke to. I love those guys. Iggy, he's obviously not as big, but for a small forward, power forward, he's pretty aggressive.
Yeah,
so I like that. Then just value-wise, he is 8 picks lower. So
okay, fine. The best post-party pick.
Yeah.
I call you out the Mitch thing. That's an impossible comparison, but. Yeah, so value-wise.
Yeah, I just think he has a definite place in an NBA rotation, and it boggles my mind that he fell that far.
Really?
He can.
When did you have him? When did you kind of see him?
I had him. I think he was in my 4th tier, and my 4th tier was something like 20 to 35 or so.
Wow.
So I had him in the late 1st, early 2nd.
Wow. Okay, we got him late. Yeah.
Yeah. But he does everything. I think his shot's actually a lot better than what he showed.
Okay.
And then his ability to just attack off the rip. He catches the ball. He can attack the rim. Finishes with either hand. Soft touch.
Yeah. We were watching the game. I'm like, I don't see any glaring weaknesses. It seems like
athleticism, but
even then, yeah,
he's not ducking over anyone, but he'll push through you. He'll push around you.
He compensates well. That first game where you saw RJ struggle, and you compared to Iggy, it just seemed like Iggy just had a much bigger bag of tricks going to the rim. He knew how to use his body better. was a bit more, like you said, his finesse, his finishing, either hand. I mean, I'm excited for him. I'm worried about his minutes.
Right.
Because I can see, you're going to bury someone in that 3-4 spot. He's the one to get buried simply because he's a rookie and not going to complain as much as a guy who got signed. Chemistry, there's so many things. But do you think Iggy, regardless of this deep team we have, do you think Iggy forces his way into the rotation regardless?
I think it's been hard to keep him off the team. Like, I guess off the rotations, obviously, on the team. But I just can't envision him not going like all out every time he steps onto the practice court, and then when he steps onto the court during the game. And just judging by the stuff Fizdale says and how he wants guys who play hard, who compete on both ends.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that, you got to do it. And I think Iggy's going to force his hands, and he might get some minutes at the 2, which could look ugly. He could get some minutes at the 3, and then some at the 4. But I mean, he definitely deserves minutes, and we'll see what happens during preseason. Yeah,
that's everything I've been seeing in Summer League. I'm like, I don't know how you keep this guy off the court. And even just, looking at it pragmatically, practically, he's locked in for 2 more years, like 3 more years in total. And I think it's a team option or player option the last year, I'm not sure. But he needs to play.
Either way.
Yeah, he needs to play. Like, this is someone who's going to be with us for an extended period. Any other Summer League standouts? We can touch on, Wooten and Kavanaugh, 2 guys I thought kind of showed some stuff. I didn't really get much from most of the other guys. But anything else you noticed, whether it was team play, those 2 that I brought up, anything you want to comment on regarding the Knicks in Summer League this year?
Yeah, so Wooten's another guy who I love. I went on, I think it was Mike Vorknoff's podcast, and I talked about him for a sec, and he's a smaller Mitch. He's another guy who the second he steps onto the court, he will just be pure energy, and similar to Mitch, you don't need a single play run for him, and he'll leave a lasting impact in the game. He can literally score 0 minutes, but he can end up plus 10 in the plus minus because he's setting screen assists, he's blocking shots, he's rebounding, he's doing all that stuff. So, Wooten's another guy who I love.
It's upsetting we didn't see Chris Wilkes. Just comment on him quickly. Anything that since we didn't see him, that Knicks fans should be looking for with Chris Wilkes when we do see him, whether it's in the G League, if he ever gets minutes to the team.
He reminds me of Rodney Hood a little bit.
Okay.
Just not as good, basically across the board. I think he has to work in his shot selection. He has to work in his finishing. But in terms of that guy who's going to come off the bench, run off screens, just kind of gun a little bit, that's kind of him. I personally wouldn't have given him the 2-way. I would have saved it for Wooten, and then I'm a big Lamar Peters fan, even though he didn't
I did not. I'll be honest. I did not like Lamar Peters.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed with how he did during Summer League.
I remember the first game he comes on, he hits 2 jumpers. I think he did 2, then he did 3. I'm like, okay, I like this guy. And then he just felt like he had tunnel vision. Yeah. He saw the lights. He saw himself. He saw the Peter sanity happening. But what do you think his future lies? He's
a G League guy right now. Just because he does have some tunnel vision. He also forces a couple of passes he shouldn't be forcing, and it's interesting. I kind of blame that on actually his vision, because I think he has really good vision.
Okay.
It's just he sees it, and it's not a pass he really should be making.
It's almost like his vision is so good, he's willing to take risks he probably shouldn't take.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then his finishing is just straight up bad.
Straight up bad. You heard it from the man himself. Okay, that's it. Anything else? I have one more question after about the Knicks going into next season, but anything else you want to talk about with Summer League before we finish up there?
The communication on defense is terrible.
Okay, so all right, so we talk about that. I think a lot of last year we saw a lot. We said it a lot. We didn't love what Fizdale was doing in terms of system. We felt like there was a lot to be desired there. Young team, bad team, so you kind of give them a bit of a pass. But you talk about defensive communication. Saw a lot of issues with that last year, and again in Summer League. But how much do you judge that in terms of what we're going to see this season? Do you give it much weight? Do you think it's like a systemic thing, like it's coming from top down, so we should still see it, especially with 4-5 for the first game, but 4 or 5 rotation guys playing the whole way? Or were you focusing more on them specifically and upset at those 4 for not seeing better communication?
I think it's kind of just on the recognition part more than anything, because I posted a couple of videos. Mitch was yelling out ice or blue, or he's calling out the pick and roll scheme, and the guy at the point of attack, he's just ignoring it.
Okay, yeah.
So, that's definitely not on the coaches, and you just you need to be more aware. And then 2 guys going to 1 guy during transition, stuff like that.
Yeah, just basic things that should be ironed out.
Yeah, and the back end of the defense, because they literally have everything in front of you. You have to be talking.
Yes.
You need to be saying, like, pick coming right, like, I got help, something, and then, you want to be splitting the quarter, 2-9 in the paint. So, 2.9 seconds in, then step out, just like stuff like that. That's probably more coach than anything else. But the communication, like the transition defense, that's on the players.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope they iron it out. I think we have a potential defensive identity building.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
they need to switch. Because I trust Mitch on the perimeter. I don't really trust anyone's weak side rotations yet. But if you have everyone switching, because RJ can defend up.
Yeah, and honestly, RJ's defending. I think his footwork is terrible. I think it got better, a little bit better over time. But even then, he's willing. And my thing with RJ, and I said this at the draft, was kind of getting away from analytics a little bit. I just feel like he's going to do what he needs to do to become a good player. I think he was born to be a basketball player. The lineage, Steve Nash in his air. Yeah. He just feels like a guy, like, no matter what his limitations are today, he's going to keep working and he's going to put it on himself. He has high expectations. I never thought he was Andrew Wiggins, who probably doesn't care about basketball.
RJ, he's like, he'll live in the gym, and if I had to give it, what his number one skill is, I don't think it's really anything on the basketball court in terms of what he can do, but it's his fire. Like, the guy wants to win, for better or worse. He has that kind of Kobe mentality. And
that Mamba mentality.
If he can put it together and if he can actually improve the shot, improve his decision making, and all that stuff, it's going to be a good player.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's just wrap up with the Knicks, with the young core specifically. So these four. I'll leave out Frank and those guys who weren't in summer league. Okay, so we saw, one of the cool things about summer league, at least for us fans, that we got to see our main young guys playing game in, game out. Most teams don't get that. Guys are sitting out. You saw Trier post last night about, guys sitting out summer league. So looking at the four, and they played all the games, which is also surprising. What are you excited about or looking forward to see from those four going into the season? Especially on a team where minutes will be limited. I think every single person on the Knicks roster going into next year played over 20 minutes a game last year. So it's not going to be the same.
Right.
So these four in particular, you're looking at Knox, RJ, Mitch, and who am I missing? Iggy. Yeah. And also Trier to extent. What do you expect for them going into the season? What do you want to see from them?
I mean, obviously, you want to see improvements across the board. You want to see, Mitch work on his technique in the pick and roll a little bit more. You want to see Iggy just continuing to show the flashes of passing. RJ, you want to see the game continue to slow down and decision-making improve a little bit, and then shooting. And, Knox, you want the defense to improve, and then just those passes. Like, you don't make those passes that he was making in Summer League if you don't have an inkling of passing ability. So he showed that he had it. Just make it more consistent. And then, above all that, you have Marcus Morris and you have Taj Gibson. You have guys who are going to push you in practice and make you really compete. And, I might not have been the biggest fans of the signings. I probably would have taken on contracts to get some picks.
I wish we had taken on one or two. Yeah. I'm happy with, when we signed 7 guys if we get Bullock, right? So if we got to 4 and then took on some contracts, I would have been happy. But, it is what it is. I think they really feel like they have to win and show progress.
It's the culture. Like, those guys are going to really, really push the rest of the team, and I like that. It's going to be good. Probably not this year when they're probably not going to do very well, but next year, the year after that, they're going to instill that in young guys, and hopefully they'll continue to keep going.
Awesome. All right, this is the man. One day he'll be famous, and you remember this video. But Spencer, tell them where they can find you, what you're up to, everything about you.
So you can find me on Twitter at SKPearlman. And I'm just constantly putting out scouting videos, just breaking down film, and I'm writing at the Stepien a little bit.
And he's on every podcast. You go on Twitter, you'll find him up at 2 a.m. watching a random EuroLeague game, giving you tips on someone's defense. So Spencer's the man. Thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks
Appreciate it. Peace out. We'll see you guys soon.
As always, thanks again for watching our video. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you'll know every time that we post a new video. And check out some of our other stuff.